Good morning. You're back with me. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, April 17th. We are taxiing out to runway 9 here at Marysville, Union County. Already had one morning flight. I wanted to put a little fuel on the airplane and then come back out here and fly a little more. It's such a beautiful morning. Let's listen to the AWAS.
Union County Airport. Automated weather observation. 1203. Zulu weather. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 9 Celsius. Dew point 8. Altimeter 3042.
3042 is now set. I wanted to make this video this morning to demonstrate one of the, in my opinion, really neat aspects of the Sonex airplane, and that is something we don't talk about a whole lot on the forums and other places. That is short field performance, takeoff and landing performance that this airplane is capable of. Notice I said short field, not necessarily rough field, with, this airplane being an example has wheel pants and the smaller tires. That's not to replace a Super Cub with Tundra tires, but for short field performance, the airplane does very, very well, both on pavement and on grass. So what I'd like to do this morning is do a couple of takeoffs and landings and kind of demonstrate the performance that I've been getting out of my airplane with the Aero-V Turbo. And we are taxiing out. I've already flown this morning. The engine's already nice and warm, so we'll do a quick ignition check and then we'll be ready to go. But I want to do a couple laps around the pattern, do a few takeoffs and landings, and demonstrate what all the plane is capable of. So let's hold short of the runway here. Canopy is closed latched. Controls are free and correct. Flaps, in this case, I'm going to start off with a normal takeoff, so the flaps are up. Run the engine up to about 1800 RPM to check the ignitions. Ignitions are both good. Oil temperature is already about 140. Said I've flew here a little bit ago, so we're all set, warmed up. Trim is set, and we're all set. So the first takeoff we're going to do is a normal takeoff, what I just consider kind of a normal rolling takeoff. Union County traffic, experimental 569 Kilo Mike departing 27 Union County. Winds are calm this morning. It's just a beautiful morning. We got a nice high pressure sitting over us. They've actually been favoring runway 9 ever so slightly, but just so we're not looking right in the sun, I'm going to take off runway 27. And just kind of using the runway markings and edge lights as a marker, let's see what we can do. So this is just a normal takeoff, flaps are up. I'm going to add power nice and slowly. 20 inches, 25 inches, 30 inches, airspeed's alive, there's 35 inches, and at about 35 indicated the plane lifts off. That was just before the touchdown marker, so that was at about 900 feet of a takeoff roll. Then what we'll do is we'll come around and we'll just do what I do as a normal landing. As we climb out here, we're going through about 80 miles an hour, about 40 inches of manifold pressure, and we're climbing at about 700-800 feet a minute. Again, I'm not, takeoff climb performance today is probably going to be a little less than normal since we are actually taking off with a slight tailwind. But I'm still seeing a consistent 800 to 900 feet a minute. And it's just a beautiful morning. Let's go ahead and turn crosswind. Downwind, I'm going to start pulling the power back a little bit. Union County traffic, experimental 569 Kilo Mike is downwind 27, Union County. There's no reason to accelerate on the downwind leg, so I'm going to start pulling the power back here. There's traffic holding short of the runway, so we'll watch for him. Gas is on, undercarriage is down, mixture is set for landing. Props, switches, safety, my harness on. And as we...
on 74 kilo departing runway 27, I'll departing. I will be departing area to the east, Union County.
Alright, there goes the traffic that's holding short. Once we're being the numbers, I'm going to start bringing the power back, rolling up full nose up trim. Now you're probably looking right in the sun with me. Bear with me for a minute here. We'll turn in just a moment. Power's coming back smoothly. At this point, normally about 2,000 RPM seems to work well. That gets us slowing down. 100 miles an hour, the first notch of flaps come in. And ready to turn base. Union County traffic, experimental 569 kilo Mike is turning base, 27 Union County. There we go. Alright, traffic is off and well clear. When I built this airplane, I built 3 notches of flaps in the detent, and normally for landing I just use either flaps 1 or flaps 2. A lot of times flaps 2 works just fine. If I'm doing a true short field, and I'll demonstrate that in a little bit, I'll use flaps 3. But for right now, normal landing, I'm going to fit flaps 2. That's where we're at now. Making a turn from base to final. And I'm a little fast right now. I'm about 80, so I'm a little fast, but that's okay. Union County traffic, experimental kilo Mike is final, 27 Union County. Again, this is just what I do as a normal landing. About 75 miles an hour, you can actually go a little slower than that. 70 to 75 works real well, even 65 works just fine. I have 2 notches of flaps. Runway's clear. There's 70. Leading off speed a little bit on purpose here. There's 65. There's 60. And made the runway. Power's coming back. There's a landing. And again, just a normal braking. There's 1,000 foot markers, so I easily could have stopped in 1,000 feet. I'm going to let it roll till the next taxiway. Bring the flaps back up. So I'll call that takeoff, or that landing roll maybe 1,000 to 1,200 feet. So let's get off the runway here. Let's go back and try a short field. Reset my trim. Flaps are up. We'll talk about flaps in a minute. And we'll taxi on back. Now for a short field takeoff, this airplane seems to do pretty well if you do a flaps 1 takeoff or flaps the first notch. It kind of pops off the ground a little faster. And that's kind of my personal preference. So I'm going to go ahead and set flaps 1 now. Flaps 1 are set. And then for a short field landing, I'll use either 2 or all 3 notches of flaps, full flaps. If you use full flaps, you either have to use a fairly steep descent angle, or you have to hold a pretty good amount of power because there's a lot of drag with the full flaps. And I do not have the Sport Acro modification, so I have the full 2/3 span flaps. And that can be a lot of drag when you have all the flaps down. So we'll see that here in a little bit. But yeah, 1 notch flaps for takeoff. We're still all set here. We've got canopy still latched, controls are still latched, the engine's still running.
RD 410 Bravo Lima to bounce 6 to west and bounce for 13.
Temperatures are all still good. Pump is on. We're all set for takeoff. So now a short field takeoff demonstration. Nobody on final, down under base. Union County traffic, experimental 569 Kilo Mike is departing 27 for closed traffic, Union County. This time I'm going to use the full runway, make myself a turn to line up. Go ahead and stop it here. I'm going to start bringing in some power while I'm stopped. Inches, 25, a little faster on the power application, brakes are released. There's 35 inches, 37 inches of manifold pressure. And the plane just levitates off. And that was a grand total of probably about 500 to 600 feet. And I have no wind helping me today, so that's just what it was, basically in still air. So I'm well off and I'm climbing. I'm going to go ahead and bring the flaps up. Get the nose down for kind of a cruise climb so the engine doesn't get too hot. My hottest cylinder is about 380 now, which is still fine, but no sense in getting the engine too hot. Climbing at 100 miles an hour is about 700-800 feet a minute.
Northwest traffic, loading 2582 Whiskey is 10 to the southwest, press car to the southeast, landing.
Go ahead and start my turn on the crossway.
Traffic, RV 10 Bravo Lima. We're going to stay south of the airport to land. We'll make a long circle the airport, come in and to the left downwind for 113 behind you.
And make our turn to downwind. Union County traffic, experimental 569 Kilo Mike is turning downwind, 27 Union County.
That's flank traffic, we have you in sight, we're just south of you now.
There's pattern altitude, and go to lower the nose. Then we'll start pulling the power back. No need to accelerate too much here in the pattern. And now we will try a short field landing on the pavement on the runway. So I will use full flaps and try to land as close to the end of the runway as I can. And then it'll just be a moderate braking effort until we come to a complete stop. And we'll see how much run we'll use. Midfield downwind, and we are now being the numbers, so I'm going to start bringing the power back. Cranking in full nose up trim.
Flank traffic, RV 10 Bravo Lima, turning left base, 13 flank.
Traffic, experimental 932 Victor's about 4 miles northwest inbound landing.
100, first notch flaps come in. A little high, that's okay, because remember the full flaps are a lot of drag, so I'm going to go ahead and make my turn to base. Union County traffic, experimental 569 Kilo Mike, turning base, 27 Union County. Alright, about 85 to 90 miles an hour, second notch flaps come in. Making my turn on to final. Union County traffic, experimental Kilo Mike is final 27 Union County. Now to get the last notch of flaps, you really need to kind of slow down because anything above about 70, 75 is a lot of strength to get that last flap notch. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the nose up a little bit, slow down, there's 70. So now I'm going to go ahead and be able to bring in full flaps. Now I can lower the nose.
Point is experimental 3-2 pictures on a 2-mile final for 1-3 flight.
It's about 65 miles an hour. I'm going to slow down here in a little bit by bringing the pitch up a little bit on purpose. That'll start slowing us down. 64, 60. Bring a little bit of that power back in so I don't get too slow. There's 55 miles an hour. There's 50. All right, runway is made. Power comes back to idle. And get on the brakes. Hopefully you can see up ahead those white boxes. And I probably just landed in about 600-700 feet. Hopefully you can see that this airplane does have some really nice short takeoff and landing capabilities. That takeoff short field was probably, like we said, about 500 to 600 feet. The landing was maybe 600 to 700 feet, and that was with no wind helping me at all. So if you're interested, the Sonex does very well on a short takeoff and landing capability, and just really love flying the airplane. So thank you.